Brisbane Botanic is an electronic guide to the Brisbane Botanic Gardens, Mount Cootha. The purpose of the app is to attract more visitors to the gardens and improve visitor experience. The target audience are young people between the ages of 5 and 15 who are living in or visiting Brisbane. The features of the app were developed through user stories and studying the types of apps that young people are currently using. The launcher icon for the app includes the app's logo. The app opens with a splash page and users are then taken to the home page where there's a button for trails, map and what's on. The trails page includes buttons for rainforest, conifer and arid trails. The rainforest trail features 4 games as well as a map that users can use to navigate the rainforest trail. From the What's On button, users can navigate to pages including Grow Your Own, School Holidays and School Tours. The map uses Google Maps API to enable the user to navigate the gardens. An image overlay is used to illustrate the paths on the map, and the marker illustrates the user's current location. The image overlay was used because Google Maps doesn't include the paths around the gardens, so this had to be created using Photoshop. Geofencing alerts the user if they are close to the rainforest trail. This data is saved in a Firestore real-time database. In this example, the user is walking over one of the paths, and then when they get close to the rainforest trail, they're alerted when they cross the geofence. The user can then navigate back to the main menu, and then to the Trails menu, Rainforest Trail, and launch the Rainforest Trail map. The yellow line on the map illustrates the rainforest trail. The user can find their current location and then follow the yellow line around the rainforest trail. The geofencing service was implemented using the add location to Firebase function. This adds the coordinates to the real-time database. The add user marker function adds the user marker based upon their last known location. The radius of the geofence was set to 100 meters, and the on-key entered function sends notification when the user enters the geofenced area. The Rainforest Trail map uses the same Google Maps API as the map on the main page. Users can navigate the Rainforest Trail and then play a range of games along the way. The image overlay includes numbers on the map that correspond to the numbers in the menu. The map also updates the user's location in real time. In this example, the user is walking along the rainforest trail and you can see their location with the marker. The user is walking towards the number 4 on the map, and when they reach the marker, they can then navigate back to the main menu and select the 4th game in the menu. As we can see, the 4th game is Scavenger Hunt. The first game in the Rainforest Trail is called Play a Tune. Visitors to the gardens can play music on a xylophone chair, as you can see in the picture. For this game, users press play and watch the animation. Users can then play the same notes on the real-life xylophone chair and guess the name of the tune. They can also press hint to play an audio file that will help them guess the name of the tune. If users select the incorrect answer, they will get a try again message and then get a well done message if they select the correct answer. The Play a Tune game relies heavily on the media player class. Firstly, to play the animation, then to stop the animation, as well as to play the audio file. The second game on the Rainforest Trail is called Name the Plant. In this game, users must find the scientific name of a plant and enter it in the Edit Text field. A touch notification alerts the user if they are correct or incorrect. In this example, the user is entering the name of the plant. They press Enter. It's correct. And then the name is misspelt and it's incorrect. A dynamic fragment is used at the bottom of the view. This allows the users to learn more about the plant. The coding for the Name the Plant game is relatively simple. User input is saved in a variable, and then, because users can enter the correct answer using either uppercase or lowercase, a series of else-if expressions checks for each case. The third game on the Rainforest Trail is called The Crossing. The Crossing is a tic-tac-toe style game that can be played by 2 players. The rocks in the pond are image buttons that modify their appearance when pressed. Each player's score is recorded at the bottom of the screen, and users receive a notification when one player wins or there's a draw. In The Crossing, an X is added to the image button for player 1, a naught to image button for player 2, and then a series of for statements adds each player's move to a series of arrays. And then the check for win function checks if either player has won the game after each turn. The last game on the Rainforest Trail is called Scavenger Hunt. In this game, users answer questions based upon information they find in the physical environment. Feedback is provided after each question, as well as at the end of the game, where users receive their total score. To create this game, the quiz data was stored in an array, and the program iterates through this data for each question. From the What's On page, users can select Grow Your Own. This page explains that the Grow Your Own event has been cancelled due to COVID-19 restrictions. To replace this service, an embedded web view is used to show users a short YouTube video about growing tomatoes.
Super monster hole. Get it. There we go, because we're going to plant juicy cherry tomatoes here.
Yeah.
Should I help you a little bit? I'll loosen it for you, make it nice and big.
From the What's On page, users can go to the School Holidays page. This page includes a list of events. The events are displayed in a recycler view using a card layout. Firebase Cloud Messaging is used to send the user notifications when the app is either open or closed. In this example, the user is notified that the Grow Your Own event has been cancelled. The user can then navigate to the app by pressing the notification. The notification was sent to the user through the Firebase online interface. The Firebase Cloud Messaging service was implemented by setting the notification icon in the manifest file. The onNewToken function generates the token, and this is then found in the logcat file under a fresh token, and this needs to be used to register the app to receive notifications. The send notification function sends the notification to the user. Now that I've completed the first sprint for my app, I could prepare it for alpha testing with a group of my peers. To prepare the app for testing, I have already performed some debugging and file cleanup, including removing redundant files and testing the app under different conditions. I would then ensure the remote services, including Firebase and Firestore, were set up and operating effectively. The manifest file would also be updated to remove logging. To generate the test release, I would create a private key that is used to sign the APK file. This file will then be distributed to my professional network for alpha testing. I faced many challenges in the development of my app. Firstly, I had no experience of using Kotlin or developing mobile apps before I began the unit, which meant that I had to complete a lot of exercises before I could even create a basic app. Each of the games presented their own challenges, particularly the scavenger hunt game. I found it difficult to transition between each question, but I found the solution by storing the data in an array and making the program iterate through the data. The Google Maps API was relatively easy to implement, but it did not include the garden's paths on the map, so I had to create this in Photoshop. This took a long time to create, as well as to test to make sure the overlay was in the correct position. I found the GPS location tracking was also not very reliable, but this had more to do with poor reception rather than the app itself. In future, I would like to investigate if I could snap the user's location to the path to make it more accurate. Geofencing was the last feature added to my project, and by far the most complicated. It took a long time to refine the location and the radius of the geofence through extensive field testing. Although it did work consistently in my app, I was not completely happy with the accuracy of the service. I would like to continue refining its accuracy when I use geofencing in future projects. In conclusion, Brisbane Botanic provides young people with a fun and interactive guide to the Botanic Gardens. Almost all of the objectives from the proposal were achieved in Sprint 1. After completing the alpha test, other trails on the app will be developed in subsequent sprints, followed by beta and gamma testing.